Right, joining us now from the Sun newsroom in New York is Stacey Snider, a criminal defense attorney and a former apprentice candidate. You know Donald Trump. Tell us. You lived with Donald Trump in the tower, right? How was it?
I did. It was intimidating.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of a kind. He has this energy that is really different. Like he walks into a room and you feel this wave of energy. And he's also a much bigger man than he appears on television, which is strange. Like, he's very tall and he's not that thin. He eats a lot of McDonald's, as you know.
He's got a little slimmer this time around, doesn't he?
Well, probably all the tension of getting shot at and almost assassinated. Caused weight loss. But
what's he like? I mean, I don't know. But did you vote for Donald Trump? Could you bring yourself to do it? Did you do it?
Did I do what?
Vote for him.
No, I didn't vote for him.
So you vote for Harris?
I didn't vote for Harris.
You didn't vote for either?
No, I sat out because I could not pick the poison of this election.
Wow, so it was a curse on both the houses, basically.
Yes, exactly. I felt I had no choice. I know I couldn't vote for him. I just couldn't. I mean, that was 4 years of a colossal disaster, corrupt nation, and I can't vote for her because she offers zero, and also she flip-flops on Israel, and she runs different ads in different states about Israel and Palestine, and that's not fair to the people who want to be protected.
We'll go back to the Trump campaign in a moment and the sort of marketing aspects of it that you've seen up close, but on Harris, it feels to me like she's been a bit of a duff candidate, right?
Yeah, she's like a zero, offering nothing. But this was the woman who got into office with Biden, and he appointed her the czar of the border, and for 4 years she did.
That's a bit of a hospital pass, that wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, she did nothing, and it's upsetting to Americans. I mean, we have in New York City, we have migrants living in fancy hotels that are being paid for, with state dollars or tax dollars, and no one has solved anything. I'm not sure he did anything either with his whole "I'll build the wall and Mexico will pay for it" when he ran on that. He didn't do much either. But people are upset about this here. They're really upset about it. And he at least is outspoken about it. She dodges and dashes around that issue.
She also seems to be slightly, it's all quite fake. The laugh is just kind of, I speak to political advisors who would say the first thing they would say to their candidate or their principal is, "Stop laughing. Why are you smiling? No one else thinks this is funny."
Right. She's running on a policy of joy.
Right.
I'm sorry, but Americans are not joyful right now. We're damn angry, and we're sad because we have a disaster of an election with two disaster candidates. One of them was foisted on us at the last minute because they hid the fact that our president's mind was going. So imagine, as a Democrat, I'm really, really angry that they didn't tell me what was going on, and they
worse than that, they lied about it.
They lied about it.
Until the point they couldn't lie anymore when they saw
him.
That
debate was an opening to the United States, like, wake up, we're being deceived, and they switched it up. But sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, not at all. Let's have a little look at this clip of Harris just on the eve of polls. Appears to be having some trouble with her phone.
You did, thank you. Thank you so very much.
So it looks like she was on the phone, she wasn't on the phone. That's it, but it sort of sums up her whole campaign, right? It's all just a bit fake.
Yeah, fake, and you know what? She's awkward. She's just awkward, and it doesn't, I don't even know how she got to be a senator of the United States, let alone she's a prosecutor and a senator. She just doesn't come together, and he's anything but awkward. But
I mean, it feels to me like in the last couple of weeks of the Trump campaign, he's slightly been hitting his old stride a bit more. We saw, obviously, we saw what a Biden campaign would look like and why they had to get rid of him when he came out with that garbage comment. Whether he meant it or not, he said it, and Americans heard him say it. And then the next day we had, Trump dressed as a bin man in the truck. I mean, it's that sort of PR move that...
It was brilliant.
It's hard for politicians to pull off unless it's authentic, right?
I know, it's so funny because here, we have CNN versus Fox News. That's the big war. And CNN was critical all night long, and Fox News was cheering it. And, I have to say, as somebody who's on the Democratic side, I thought thought it was brilliant. It was hilarious. Like, he capitalized on it.
Stunt as well,
The McDonald's stunt was great. And you know what? That's what he does best. I wouldn't say he's the sharpest tool in the shed all of the time.
Right.
I'll say that from just being in the room with him. He's the best marketer on the planet. And it's about time that he started using that to his advantage. And he just squeaked it out at the end.
Almost like let Trump be Trump, sort of. Let him off the leash a little bit
Yeah.
to be the PR man.
Right, but you don't want to totally let him be Trump because he can go a little cuckoo too, and you don't want that side
it's
of him.
It's a thin line between.
Yeah, totally.
And was he like that when you knew him? Was he like that when it's always been the Donald Trump show, right?
You know what? He was the total character of the billionaire businessman 24 hours a day. He lived it. I think he loved it.
Yeah.
You know, he was the Donald Trump of The Apprentice. And I think that was his best life. So he was living his best life as the head of The Apprentice.
Rather being a TV show than a president, right?
Yeah, rather than being a president, actually having to do work and get things done and pay attention.
With your changing hats here, with your legal hat on, I mean, the stakes could not be higher for this guy because you tell me the charges are stacked up. You covered the trial, right?
Yeah,
He's going to jail if he doesn't win, right?
Yeah, well, especially in New York. So he's got sentencing scheduled for November 26th, right after our Thanksgiving. He was convicted on 34 counts of fraud, and he could go to jail. It's possible. I've seen it happen in New York where they'll put someone in jail. If he becomes president, I don't think that judge would even touch putting a president. What are you going to do with him?
They're not going to put the president
do it. They're not going to put him in jail.
Or the president-elect, even.
Exactly. It's
so
not
what
practical.
do? They kick it into the long grass and then he pardons himself on day one. Can he pardon himself?
He can't. On the New York case, it's a state case. He can't even touch it. On the federal stuff that's pending against him, that they're going to, if he loses this election, they're going after him for interfering with the election. They're going after him for what he allegedly did in Georgia with tampering with the vote, calling it in, like, find me the votes that I need to win Georgia.
It sounds like it's going a little bit better for him in Georgia this time round.
Yeah, it's going much better in Georgia. Georgia's not worried about the allegations at all. Doesn't seem like that on the polls,
So, I mean, what happened? It puts Biden in a tricky spot because if he, Hunter's obviously got his own legal problems with Hunter. Could we not see ended up some sort of weird amnesty where everyone gets, they leave Hunter alone and
I don't see that.
You can't see America coming together.
No, we don't know. No, it's not going to operate that way.
It's a bit Banana Republic locking up one's political opponents, right?
The whole country has become a Banana Republic. I've never seen the United States in the condition of chaos that it's in. But I'll tell you something. Biden has an opportunity to pardon Hunter before his term is up, and he said he's not going to do it, but if he was a smart guy, he's got nothing to lose now.
Of course. And
pardon your son.
He's
How's he going to let his son go to jail, really?
Yeah.
I mean, they only went
that
after...
family's been through. I mean, you can see it.
It's a disaster.
He does nothing to lose. He's not even turning up to
who's going to criticize
him? Tonight.
Exactly.
But the tension is quite a bad blood there between the Democrats, right?
Yeah, it's really bad.
How does whoever wins, this country is utterly divided and will continue to be so. How can you? What would be your remedy for it?
We are so far past remedy at this point. There's so much hatred, anger, and vitriol here. People against people. I mean, I'm even coming into the studio here in New York, and there are angry protesters outside this building on an election night. We haven't gotten any results in. We got one state, and it means nothing. People just can't stop screaming, and I think a lot of it is the social media and everyone fed all this.
Social media. I mean, just flicking through the networks. It's people screaming.
It's people screaming because no one's giving one side of the story that's uniform. It's this side and this side and this story, and it doesn't. Nothing matches. No one knows what to believe, and everybody's angry.
Do you really believe that Donald Trump, though, if he loses, is going to just disappear off the scene? And
no way. No way. I read tonight that he said he's not going to run again if he loses.
Yeah.
He is not disappearing.
Well,
he might be in jail, right? He might not have time to run.
I mean, he's getting on, right? This is surely going to be his last.
He is getting on, but you know what? Look, he took one bullet, and it grazed his ear, but he took a bullet. He was clearly, the effect on his nervous system must have been unbelievable, and he's still got the energy. He's a little slower, and he drags on now. He gives the
long rambling,
rambling, weaving, as he calls. I weave, but he's still got the Donald Trump inside of him, where Biden's not.
What's your prediction for tonight and the next few months? Will Donald Trump be in a New York jail at Christmas, or will he be on the way to the White House?
This is the hardest election to call. I've had everyone asking me, who do you think? What do you think?
Yeah.
I have no idea. And you know what? I don't even trust the Democratic media is telling us that she's got it in the bag. The Republican media is telling us that he's got it in the bag.
And the posters are all over the Trump.
Yeah,
the
who
bookies,
knows?
though, the bookies, the punters are saying it's a Trump victory, right?
They are, and maybe they'll be right. I mean, I don't know. It seems like he could pull it out because the country is so divided and so angry, and he's at least speaking to people like people, and she's just cackling, and that's really hurt her. She really brought them nothing. If she had just brought a policy and not said, "I'm going to do the same thing that we didn't make any mistakes during Biden."
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
really, we're all
It's
kind of
just a lack of
suffering here.
lack of credibility.
Yeah, if you knew what the price of eggs were in the United States, you would probably be voting for Donald Trump because of price of eggs.
Exactly.
Yeah, the price of eggs.
Snyder, thank you for coming.
All right.
See you soon. Get some sleep.
I will try. I will try. Thank you.
Thank you. Right, don't go in. Much more coming up soon.